Hello friends, welcome to the Go Podcast 1200. Salah. Hello friends, welcome to Go 1200 Podcast. Okay, in this episode, what is
Henry, how many episodes already? How come you still can't remember the podcast?
That means it's not registered in my subconscious.
Oh
yeah, and that's the topic for today.
Oh, fantastic.
So was that intentional?
No, it was not intentional.
So natural, you.
不要这样讲，不好意思，不可以继续让我不好意思。Yeah. So we're talking about subconscious today, right? What about this subconscious? Still related to finances.
Okay.
So before we start, let's talk about something. Before we start, wait. I need for the new viewers, let's not forget the new viewers. My name is Henry, and this is Xiaoqing, and that is Daniel. Okay, so today we are talking about subconscious, right? Wealth building. So subconscious is basically the part of your mind that notices and remembers information when you are not actively trying to do so, and influences your behavior even though you do not realize it. Okay, interesting. So before we talk about finances, let's talk about a few things which we can think of when it's subconscious. What do you think? Xiaoqing, Daniel, anything to share?
Oh, one of it was like when I'm driving to work, because it's always the same path every single day, right? From home to office to home. Then there was one day, actually I'm not going to office, but in my subconscious I was going to office, so in the end I took the wrong routes.
Okay, that's a very good example.
Another one that I can think of is that, you know, when I shower I always put shampoo, conditioner, shower gel. So there was one day that in my subconscious I just used it in that sequence. Then I realized that I put the wrong thing onto my head. I was putting the shower cream onto my head. In my subconscious mind, because somebody switched the position of the shower gel. Yeah. So that was two that I can think of.
Okay, who's the somebody?
I guess for me it's the
Not for you to know.
I said, who's the somebody?
who's the somebody? Must be the hubby lah. I guess for me it's the diet plan that I started. I started with a conscious diet plan last year lah. So my trainer told me if you want to cut down your weight, you can start with a breakfast with so-called almonds, cashew nuts, blueberries lah. So I had a 30 days diet of that together with my yogurt. Guess what I ate today? Yogurt with a golden kiwi and some almonds. Wow. So it become my subconscious really. I don't crave for carbohydrates and bread anymore. The first thought I have for breakfast is yogurt. Because I've been doing it for the last, I think about 1 year already. I get so used to it. So when my wife asks me, hey, what do you want to buy at the supermarket? Hey, help me buy yogurt, help me buy a golden kiwi. So it becomes a subconscious.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah, but of course I sometimes still have craving for roti prata.
Because that part of the subconscious has not been totally removed.
Correct.
It's still inside.
Correct.
Yeah. It's just that your yogurt is slowly replacing the roti prata.
Yes.
But not enough yet.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for sharing. I thought actually breathing is also a form of subconscious. Right. When we are breathing, we don't consciously do this. You know, we don't consciously think that we are breathing. We just breathe as we are doing work. Sometimes we breathe. Sometimes even when we are doing work, we forget to breathe, and then suddenly we need to take a few deep breaths. You know, so actually breathing is also a form of subconscious. Now, why is this related to personal finance today? We're talking about, let's say, savings and investment, building wealth. Will forced savings lead to wealth accumulation? That's the topic for discussion today.
Okay.
Maybe and then we'll talk about how it links to subconscious. Okay. Anything to share on that?
I think, let's say, going back to the example of the diet, right? It started with a very forced feeling because I don't eat yogurt and berries for breakfast. And when I go and meet my client at Yakun, right, I have a struggle. I feel like eating my French toast and my kopi C siu dai and my 2 eggs. Wow. I think of it, I feel so high also. But then when you haven't had breakfast? Okay, cut, let's go for breakfast. So, where was I? So when I go for Yakun, right, I have craving for this. And I need to force myself to bring my berries, to bring my almonds, and to drink kopi or kosong when I reach Yakun. So it's a forced effort first. But the forced effort helps me to build that subconscious mind that, hey, this diet is good for me in the future. So I carry on to do that. Yeah, and I guess that develops my subconscious mind. Yeah. eventually lah.
So what I can think of course, I've never served NS before, but what I can see is that every boy that goes into NS, when they go through BMT, they definitely come out losing weight, becoming more fit, becoming stronger, being able to do those push-up. So that's in a way that force exercise routine that make them a lot more fitter. So in a way, I guess is yes and no in that sense. So it could help them get fitter after 3 months. But then whether that is a sustainable effort or not is another story.
Correct.
So how many after leaving NS really continue to stay fit? I think we know the answer, huh? No need to say more, right?
We know the answer or we feel the answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So regarding this point, right, I suddenly thought of something. So pertaining to personal finance, right, just now you mentioned that initial process is a forced saving.
It's my phone.
Oh,
So sorry for the commercial break.
Is some delivery coming?
Maybe I bought something for Christmas and it came.
okay, we can wait for it.
Or maybe it's your Yakun toast delivery.
Wow, best. Maybe you should have Yakun for lunch later.
Yeah.
Breakfast for you lah, breakfast for you. Lunch for me.
Hey, your commercial break broke up my thoughts.
I'm sorry.
What did I say?
Let me
Already.
think. I also can't remember.
Oh yeah, the part you mentioned about the continuity, right? Because let's talk about finances. Back to finances, right? So we talk about forced savings.
Yep.
If let's say someone they don't normally save and invest, and then suddenly you give them a forced savings habit, like a forced savings plan, right? Or let's say a CPF. But if you look at CPF, for example, right, it's a 20-30 years of forced savings now. But we see some people when they're able to withdraw it at age 55, probably somebody just spend it off within a few years.
Yeah.
So even though it is forced savings, they managed to build up a capital, but ended up they still didn't manage to hold on to that wealth. Right, they still spend it away. So what do you think is the issue? I mean, I have some thoughts in my mind, maybe that I'll be sharing later. Just want to share, just want to hear from you all, and maybe for the audience, what are some of your thoughts pertaining to this?
To me, I think the key thing or the main word that comes to mind is temptation.
Temptation.
Yeah,
okay.
so I think the forced saving still works because they can't access to it. So for the last 30 years they were saving to the CPF, it still helped them to build the wealth.
Yes.
But when the wealth comes out, they don't know how to handle it because of temptation. They suddenly see the lump sum and they want to use it. So I guess the conscious mind or the conscious system of CPF still helps people to build wealth. But at the point when it matures, I think we also cannot be too subconscious about it. We need to be very conscious that this lump sum is for my retirement. I got to be conscious of how to use this amount of money also. If I use my subconscious, then my temptation will creep in and I want to use the money. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I feel is what do I have in my subconscious? For instance, the NS guy, they cannot think, so they can only do the exercise daily. So 3 months later, they indeed become more fit. But if after 3 months, their subconscious is, I want to enjoy my food now, I want to enjoy my life, I don't care about staying fit, then for sure they will go back to their usual self.
Correct.
So just like CPF, when the CPF mature at the age of 55, if their mindset is, yes, finally my CPF has matured, I can now spend my money, I can now enjoy my money, then for sure they will use it. So I guess it's all back to actually has the subconscious been programmed in such a way to get them to where they want to be. And in that, the action will actually reflect what is inside their subconscious mind. Is it to spend? Because if someone who is always very conscious about how she looks, she always want to dress well, look good, keep herself fit, control her diet, because in her subconscious she wants to look good. But in her subconscious is, I want to enjoy my food. So naturally this person will also be putting on weight and not care so much about the diet after the dieting plan ends in 3 months. Yeah.
Talking about this dieting, right? Some people go through this thing called intermittent fasting. So they fast for 16 hours and then they eat for 8 hours. Yeah, so they are successful in losing weight. For maybe 3 months, they are successful. They lost about maybe 8 kg, 10 kg. And after they have hit their objective of losing the 10 kg, they say, okay, I've reached my objective. Now I can go and enjoy. So they start to eat. So that's where they continue to put on weight again. So like what Xiao Qing mentioned, it's really on what is our end in mind. If my end in mind in intermittent fasting is on good health, better energy, lower my sugar intake, right? Then that would be more sustainable. If my focus is only on losing weight and I hit that weight mark, right? I will definitely feel that I achieve it already. Like people who receive the CPF, oh, I achieved already. It's time to enjoy. Yeah, so the end in mind, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree. The end in mind. Because just now when you were sharing, right, when you were sharing about the yogurt example, right, you will manage to do it with such discipline. One thing is also because you wanted an end in mind,
Yeah.
the objective. So I feel it's the same with a forced savings, right? If you're doing forced savings, I think you can still build capital because it buys us time for us to change our mindset towards a well-building mindset. If let's say I'm someone that is a spender, right? So during this period of time, through the forced savings, of course, I cannot spend that amount of money.
Yeah.
But it allows me time to change my mindset into somewhat of an accumulator
Yes.
than a spender, right? So when I get that sum of money, when it's ready, instead of spending it, I may be thinking about ways to increase it, right? So forced savings, I think, is a tool for us to buy time. Trying to change our mindset into a subconscious, from a subconscious wealth maybe spender to a subconscious wealth builder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wealth builder. So in that case, I think it's all about understanding what is the objective that you want to achieve, like what Daniel mentioned, about the end in mind, and if that's clearly what you really want, you somehow find ways to achieve it.
Yeah.
And the same thing about losing weight. You know, back then when I lost about 8 kg, my objective was not about really losing weight. It was just something. I just want to maintain this number of activities, and then to achieve back my NS timing, running timing. Then unknowingly somehow I lost weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree. And on the contrary, you think about it on the CPF. Back to the topic on CPF, right? If we don't ask the question on does this system help? We ask the question on if without this system, how many people can actually retire? Then the answer will pop up, lor. Actually, the system really does help.
Yes.
The system helps to build us forced savings towards retirement. But thereafter, we really have to be conscious about it also. So consciousness is always the first step to build the subconscious. If we only rely on our subconscious, it's all memories of the past. It's all habits of the past. We'll all revert to the past again. So I believe that a strong conscious will help to build a subconscious in the future.
Wow, this is powerful. Very true. You need the new habits to come in order to replace the old.
To replace the old habits. If not, we'll always fall back.
Yeah, if not, you're still thinking about your prata.
Confirm. With fish curry.
Then one more realization that I have, if you are 55 this year and thinking of using your CPF, withdrawing it for this year, right? You may want to think twice, because in time to come, your CPF life, right, could only be sufficient to be funding for your MediShield premium. Yeah, with this medical insurance inflation going at 10% per annum, which was just released recently, and the medical cost is only going to be upward, one-way direction upward. So with that in mind, I think the CPF life premium in time to come, if you think that's going to fund for your retirement, do think twice. Probably that is only enough to fund for our insurance premium at that point in time. Yeah.
Very true. On this topic, do remember to go back to your financial consultant and check with them, right, to discuss further about how it can assist you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Anything else to add on? I have nothing else to add on.
Then let's
so
wrap
that
up.
means we can end the episode for today.
Yes.
Okay.
Lunchtime.
Yes.
Done.
Yeah,
Thanks
Kun
for-
French toast.
Thanks for joining us today. In future, we'll try to go deeper into it. If we have more time to allow us to go into specific topics, when you're able to share with us what are the things that you find from our previous episode, right? You find interesting and you'd like us to go deeper. So do remember to subscribe for our YouTube channel and give us a like if it resonates with you. Do give us a comment or any feedbacks to improve if you feel that there are certain aspects that we can continue to improve to cater to more of your knowledge. Okay, with that, we'll end the podcast for today. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
See you.
See you.
See you.